siento medio tonto. Y mientras más te acercas, más nervioso me pongo. Si te pasas de fresca, juro que no respondo. Muévelo, muévelo.
World's best gather here. XBL baseball starts now.
It's crushed to the moon, and we're tied.
He picks it up on the second, over to first in time for the double play that ends the inning.
That's gone.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Trying to repeat.
It's good!
To the pen! This game is over!
Oh! Crushed! Left field! Off the pole!
Domingo Bell, deep right center field, carrying, and it's gone!
That was hit hard. Left center field. Did she do it again? To the wall!
Swung on Bell to the deep left field. Is this baby gone? A grand slam!
Champion! The AAA World Series is over! What a line shot!
I can't believe my eyes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a fashionably late match of the week because of me. I'm sorry about that, everyone, about the audio issues, but we got it figured out, and we got the games pre-recorded last night, so we're going to have no worries of DCs or anything like that. It's going to be a couple of great ball games, and in the booth with me tonight for a Monday edition of Match of the Week is Spliff, a new AAA aficionado. What's up, man?
What's up? What's up, Uni? What's up, XBL? It's good to be here. Good to see a big AAA matchup on Monday night. I know it's we had a little bit of technical difficulties yesterday, but gives us a little something on a Monday night.
Yeah, technical difficulties and the typo an hour early. Sorry about that, but anyways, we're underway, and for the first key, we've got old vets in a backyard brawl. Both of these guys played a long time. Ed especially has a lot of seasons in the league and still looking to get that trophy that he hasn't gotten. He's been so close so many times, and he's off to as hot of a start as ever. It seems like he takes that first week and goes on some super luxury vacation. He comes back mind cleared, and he just blows out AAA for a couple of weeks. And meanwhile, Heisman's looked really well. After a lot of seasons of him being an excellent pitcher, this season he's really shown that he can hit well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you hit it, man. This is the definition of two old vets in a backyard brawl. You know, they're 5-5 all time. I think I saw against each other in the season. Surprisingly, in all the seasons that they've played each other, they've never met each other in the playoffs, which is well, I found like very interesting because they're both perennial, playoff makers there. And yeah, I mean, you hit it on Ed too. Ed, we have seen a couple different versions of Ed. Ed has a bit of a split personality. We have seen seasons like this where he comes out hot. Like, I think he started 11-1 or 11-2. He lost his first two games and then went on an 11-game run. And we've seen that version of Ed. We've also seen the version where in the second half he sputters, goes 500. Maybe loses like kind of the focus on the long season and the trophy at the end. And yeah, he's still looking for that hardware. So I'm really looking forward to this series. And Heisman too. Again, what version of Heisman are we going to see today? I mean, I've been scrimming the guy. The guy knows what he's doing on the mound, but we're starting to see him hit now. And this is a kind of a scary version of Heisman if he can keep controlling that pitching. And he starts rolling in the hits, which we're seeing from a couple players this season. He's going to be a really dangerous player too. So I'm really looking forward to this. It's a really even matchup.
Yeah, super even matchup. And you brought up Ed's hot streak at 11 straight coming into this match of the week. I don't know if he's played a couple of games since he recorded last night, but actually I think he did today, but we'll disregard it because at the time of these recordings, he was on 11 win streak. So he's feeling very hot. See if he can keep that up. And then Heisman on that third key, he's only 8-6 going into this matchup, which is a little bit less than where he would want to be. I'd be interested to see who exactly he played to get that record with how deep the AAA is. A lot of tough opponents, but what he normally hangs his hat on is that pitching, and his pitching it's been all right. It's been about 4 per he's given up per game. Meanwhile, Eduardo's around 3, but like I said, what he's really jumped up is that batting average and that runs scored. They're both sitting at around 7 runs scored, and for Eduardo, he's been there for a couple of years now, but Heisman really jumping up with that bat. If he can get his pitching numbers back to where they normally are, but keep this run scoring up, that 8-6 record is going to be much improved by the end of the season. He's going to be someone that can be a top 5 player, and after these recordings, just a couple of wins could get him into the top 5. So with that said, you have any last touching points on this matchup? You're the AAA guy.
No, I mean, I'm really looking forward to see how Ed looks. I mean, I know he's been, like I said, he's been on a run. I clipped Heisman early. I think maybe I got a little bit lucky early in the season because we played very early in the season, and he's been inactive. I mean, like when I say inactive, I mean like he hasn't. There's been at least a week where he hasn't had many games in. So he's still on track with his games. I'm really looking forward to see if like that break helps him a little bit to kind of get back on the winning streak against a formidable yet a veteran opponent. Sorry.
Right. And sometimes those breaks help people, and sometimes they hurt people. It's different for everybody, and it's going to be an excellent matchup. Two very, very close opponents and what we didn't touch on that I want to say before we get out of here. They're very familiar with the match of the week lights. A lot of people can shudder away and have some nerves on these stages, but both of these guys have been in match of the weeks for, I mean, I'm sure they both have 5 to 10, if not more, under their belt. So I don't think the nerves are going to be as big of an issue in this series as you see in most, especially with the pre-recording being what it is, and it takes a little bit of those nerves away. So I think we're going to see some really clean ball, and because of my betting that I put down, I'm really hoping that we see some high-scoring games. So I'm sure everyone's got a little bit of something spread around on those bets. But without further ado, one last thing. These are an ultra-wide recording, so it's going to look a little bit funky, but they're very, very playable. You can still see it plenty well. So with all that said, we're going to get everything switched over. Y'all give me a second to get Spliff our feed. Then we'll jump right into our AAA match of the week here on a Monday. All right, everyone, I believe that we're here. It should be working. It's a little bit of a different capture tonight, so let me know if anything's off. But we've got the stream up and running, and we're at, I believe, home of the Houston Stars at the Corral, that stadium that I'm not sure anyone else runs except for the Houston Stars, and the Corral makes a lot of sense for his team build. We'll see how that plays into effect in this game. I don't know a whole lot about the stadium, but both of these guys were known for contact swing, but what Heisman has really changed up that's made a huge difference this year is he switched to more of a power swing. So we are going to see a little bit of a different approach from each of these guys at the plate tonight.
Definitely, and I don't know who else plays at the Corral besides Heisman. I kind of attach it to Heisman now when I see the Corral. There might be other people in the other leagues that have this as a home stadium, but it's a kind of a funky stadium. If I remember correctly, it's like shorter down the lines. Great for Heisman's style on his contact, his big contact swinging. And yeah, you said it, man. He is power swinging a lot now, a lot relative to old Heisman. It's just his eye. Where's his eye at? And I can say that that's improving too. So you got to look out for Heisman. We'll see if we can see that in this game.
Yeah, both of these guys are known to stretch the zone just a little bit at the plate, but they can lock it in when they're playing at the top of their games as well. We're looking at a starter here, Johnny Junk, with a really interesting arsenal. No changeup. He's got slider, curveball, and that one's hit well from Eddie. Deep left field. Is the outfielder going to be able to get there? And he does. That does look deep over there in left center over here at the Corral. Going to be tough to get any home runs over there. The front end of this sirloin lineup is really juiced. And Eduardo is very much a momentum player. If he can get off to a quick start here on the road, that's something that bodes well for anyone, but especially well for Eduardo. And a couple great hits here, but both out at the warning track. Eduardo does look like he's putting a good bat on the ball. And now the Houston Stars come up with Gina Scoops leading off. And on the mound, we got, I didn't catch her name, Kei Igawa with a more traditional arsenal. She does have that screwball, which can cause a lot of problems for people in the league. And a leadoff hit from Heisman on the first at-bat for the Stars. Like we mentioned, only 8-6 coming into this matchup, looking to improve his record, and this is a get-right type of series. It's not an easy opponent to get right against, but Heisman's looking to get away with at least a split, as anyone is. And there's a steal going to second, and a wild throw over to the center fielder, and he's going to go all the way to third with that leadoff speed. And before we even have one out, we have a man manufactured over there to third base.
We're still in the bottom of the first here. But there are a couple interesting things I'm noticing. We'll talk about after this at bat.
Yeah, Grandad, he goes home, and he's not going to get it in time. Aggressive decision in the very, very early odds of this game to take that one at home. That's a play that you expect in a closer late game where you feel like every run matters. I'm surprised to see him go home there. And now another steal from the Stars. And Eduardo, I talked about the momentum. Off rip, the momentum is very against him. Ground out to second, and he is going to go to first this time. But once again, runner on third, and now only one out, looking to add another run before this inning's up. Billy Bombs with a really good 483 average up at the plate. And Eduardo sets up that double play opportunity. You see that a lot of times in this situation. We'll see if he's able to get it.
And I'm wondering how much familiarity is already is playing having an effect here in this series. I mean, you saw in the first inning, Ed was setting up in the zone. I don't remember Ed ever really setting up anywhere pre-strike, at least in the times that I've seen him stream.
Oh, and look at that. He walks the great batter to get him on first, and the double play works out, and he keeps it at just one run. He helps himself after a mistake over there in the infield on the decision-making. Great double play ball to get it out right there. Yeah, you're right. He is setting it up at the top of the zone. Maybe that's an adjustment he's made. It's been working well for him, apparently.
Those were some big outs. If you remember in the first inning, those were some big outs. He nailed those balls, right? So, I mean, this is interesting. I don't really remember Ed shading anywhere in the zone.
Yeah, me either. But worked well to the tune of 11 straight up to this point. Still has a decent batter up here in the 5-hole. I'm not sure how deep his lineup is. Eduardo's pretty set in stone on the way he builds his teams at this point. This starting pitcher is rocking an 8 ERA coming into the game, down to 7.88 now, but obviously Johnny Junk has had a rough time to start the AAA season. Gets a couple of outs here after a clean first inning, and Johnny Junk's looking just fine on the mound. 5 put away. A couple of well-hit balls from the sirloins, but no base runners yet.
It might be that lack of changeup that's really bloated her ERA, especially in the AAA. XBL, XBL are just the best hitters, but in the AAA, you need different speeds. It's not just like lateral or horizontal movement that's going to get you outs. You need to change up the speeds, and you have different types of batters like Ed here. You're not going to trick Ed. You're not gonna trick him with a ball in the corner. He's going to swing and most of the time and not strike out. So, you have to be really careful when you're rocking, Wow, what a catch.
What a catch over there. If that was Ed of last season, that wouldn't have been caught because he was running a 10 fielding, 10 speed, 10 arm first baseman specialist. He was mad that we were targeting him apparently on the roster tool, and I'm sure he's happy after that catch. And you're right about the change up in velocity. I think that's more important than movement in this league as you get higher and higher, is the change up in velocity, because people are going to get on balls just like that. Great screwball, low outside corner, but he's just able to get on it because he's a great player. I do think with that Johnny Junk arsenal for the Stars, though, versus a contact hitter, velo switch up isn't as big of a deal. The movement on those weird pitches like the slider can help, so I do think Johnny Junk is set up better than most series in this game. And there's a little kind of a manufactured bunt, and he gets there, and everything for the Houston Stars right now seems to be working. He's got 2 on now with no outs, and after a pretty aggressive first inning, he's aggressive here in the second. It's paying off. Eduardo is known to attack the strike zone on the mound. Curveball well located up in the zone. Whiffer is engaged on this player. And he still gets a hit, and he's got a lot of speed coming around to see if he pushes it for home, and he thinks better if it turns back. Bases are loaded, no outs, and the Houston Stars, with the pitcher Johnny Junk already locked in at the plate, looking to do some damage and really blow this thing open in the second. Home crowd very happy with this start. Seeing a lot of cutters from out to end to start off these at-bats. Gonna try to get a chase here, and he doesn't. Good eye from Heisman. Got a 2-1 count now. And this one could be trouble. Left fielder, and it's misplayed, but he is going to get the out at... Oh, wait! No!
Wow.
Okay. We said that the nerves weren't going to be a thing for these vets, but does Eduardo not seem nervous? These are not Eduardo plays. Hang on, triple play. Oh, okay, he gets that one at home. He's went for it 3 times, and he finally gets one. Oh, no.
Right up the middle.
And he's going to round 2. It's going to score 2, and there's a play at third, but he's safe. And Houston Stars, 4 runs on the board. They don't have an out yet in the second. Oh, sorry, 1 out here in the second. I'm surprised Eduardo's even got the starter, and he's pretty quick trigger on that bullpen, but not today. Wiggins dives a second over to first, not in time, and another run comes across. Hard to catch your breath. The Houston Stars are swinging very aggressively early in counts, and it's 5-0 here in the second.
I mean, if I, before the game, erase the names and the uniforms and I told you one of these teams hasn't played in a week and the other team is on an 11-game winning streak over the past week, I think you'd be guessing the complete opposite teams right now. Heisman just looks locked in, and he has, like I said, he hasn't played a competitive game in close to a week.
Right, yeah, it looks completely opposite. He's one of those people that apparently the time off helped him, but also when you look at Eduardo and the sirloins, he's made a couple of decisions that he just simply shouldn't have made, and on top, he's got 2 errors already in the first 2 innings of play, and that's just not going to help you, especially in match of the week, especially against a top AAA opponent. It's the human errors that can really make a difference in the games like this when it's really, really tight matchup of opponents. 3-0 count now.
I would class Heisman in one of those players who's like one of the best front runner players that I've ever played against. Meaning, like, if he has a lead in the game, and especially a 5-run lead, not many teams are going to be able to come back because he has the offense to back it up. Like, you might be able to chip away, but he's going to be relentless still. He's going to chip away. He's going to get those hits, those contact hits, you know, those bloopers, and he's going to put some runs on you. So this is a tough spot for Ed right now.
Yeah, he's already at nearly those 7 runs per that he's bumped himself up to this season, and he's known as a great pitcher himself. So this is going to be a tough spot for Eduardo. He can definitely do it. He can have the comeback.
Absolutely.
Johnny Junk looking very good on the mound, though. This interesting Arsenal's working out right now, looking to correct the way he's started his season. Or I can't even tell if that's a boy or girl, but we're going to go with a boy because his name's Johnny. Slider well located out and away, gets Ed looking. Not something you're going to see from him, a really aggressive swinger, but he sits on that one, gets a strikeout, and here's Hammerlaw Ballo.
A strike 3 looking for Ed. You might as well have just seen a unicorn on live TV, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of those things where he does not strike out, period. But let alone, like, you know, I rarely see him strike out looking. You know, that's like one of those things where take a snapshot, it's going to last longer, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not going to see that very often. One of the more aggressive swingers, and that one's hit well, but right to the first baseman. And here comes the Houston Stars again. First couple innings have really put it on these sirloins. Looking to add to it. He hasn't shown any power so far, but he's got a lot of decent bloopers and really flashed his speed at the front of that lineup to manufacture these runs. Good curveball on the inside, top of the zone. Changeup's pretty well located outside too, and he gets him swinging on it underneath it for a strikeout. And if you're the sirloins, you really need a clean inning here to start to stymie that momentum. Cutter chases on the inside, 0-2 count. He's going to come aggressive at it, and he gets him looking now the same location that Heisman used. Ed pulls it back on him and does the same thing, and a couple of strikeouts here. Very different third inning compared to those first 2, and that's what a savvy vet's going to do, switch up that pitching style and figure out what's working. Oh, that one's hit deep. Outfield was in, and it's going to reach the warning track. He's not able to get it. Damian Rush throws it in to third. He's going to go. It's going to be a play, but he is safe. And for all 3 innings so far, the Stars find themselves with the man on third base. And another
that
walk
infield
here.
in is always, that outfield in is always like a gift and a curse, you know? It's just always in those weird moments. It seems to like always work against you. And luckily that didn't go over the wall.
He's got a lot of speed on first. A decent hit here has a chance to score 2. 1-2 count now. Pitcher tense on the mound, desperately trying to get out of this, and it looks like he is. Popped up over there to Lloyd Cook. After the outfield in, almost caused some problems. He's still able to get out of it cleanly, and here comes Eduardo back up to the plate, looking to swap that momentum, switch it around on his side. If Eduardo can get a couple of hits, manufacture a run or two, he's very much a momentum player. He can snowball it into a big inning. And this front of his lineup is exactly who you want up to start at. Bad ball hitter on Cat Stanza this season. And she does hit it well right field, and that's going to be a leadoff single. Here in our first game of AAA match of the week. Yeah, that's what you need if you're Eduardo. You don't really rely on the power. You need to get people on base and then try to hit you some bloopers, some gaps. And that one's going to be close. He's going to have to slide for it. Does catch it over there. Left fielder's got great stats. A lot of speed, able to get to that, and high fielding as well. A lot of range. That one is going to fall, though. Well, hang on. No, it's not. Wow. Another diving stop, and we've seen some excellent defensive plays here from the veterans through the first 4 innings. Still sitting at the top of the zone is Eduardo. He's still getting under these balls despite sitting at the very top of the zone with that reticle. Slider misses outside. Johnny Junk's stats are starting to come back to the median a little bit. Still locked in, though. Velo is where it started. And that one finds its way up the middle. A weak grounder, but that's going to work. Hang on. He's going all the way to third. I guess he's got enough speed. He does it. Ooh. And Eduardo again, a little bit of a mental lapse as he gets thrown out at third on the third out. That's one of the unwritten rules of baseball. You don't want that third out, or you don't want that third base out on out number 1 or out number 3.
And like contextually, we're still in the 4th. You're down 5 runs. That's not going to really, make a difference for you. And I just think it was even, if you thought it was going to be closer, I probably the safer move is to stay at second there and just give yourself another at bat.
Yeah, Eduardo seems like he's really pushing it. Now 5, but he's pitching exceptionally well now these last couple innings. That's up to 3 or 4 strikeouts just in the last 5 or 6 batters. Neutral is the starter now, so the stats are back, and he gets a ground out to shortstop here. Wiggins puts it away cleanly. A couple of quick outs now. We've seen the offense slow down for the Stars. That one's hit deep left field, though. It's deep over there in Corral. Is he going to be able to get it? Another diving play. The defense has been on another level to start this game. The decision-making questionable, but the dive's unreal.
Yeah, I mean, those big hits by Heisman, the one over the outfield in as well, those were on top of the zone curveballs. So, the Sirloins, Ed's doing great. I mean, like, this is what a vet does. You have someone with a good eye who's, like, laying off of stuff. You start piping stuff down the middle or, like, in the corners.
And that's the 3rd or 4th hit from the Sirloins that has been hit well, but find its way to the warning track, and that's what happens when you're a contact swinger. A lot of those well-struck balls lead to nothing unless you find a gap. There's downfalls to it as much as there's positives to it, and Eduardo knows that plenty. Done a good job of holding the lead at 5 for a few innings now, but has yet to manufacture many base runners. Just a couple of hits so far. One out here in the bottom of the 5th. Well-located cutter on the inside right there. Gets the line out to third. Tish Ballin, sprinter, bunter. Haven't seen her bunt yet. I don't want to see her bunt either. Sprinter might save her. And it does. Over there safe at first. 2 outs, though. Looking for a 2-out rally. You're going to pull the pitcher here, yeah. Eduardo's very happy to get up to that pinch hit spot. Brings his best batter, Mick Steele, in here with 2 outs, man on first, looking to have a home run shot. And that's the pitch for it. It's going to find a gap. It's not going to get over the fence, but a lot of speed rounding. It's going to score 1 run for sure. Mick Steele's going to be safe at second. And finally, Eduardo and the Sirloins get their first run on the board. A lot of time left to play in this game. And Eduardo's looking to add another one here with Hammerlawn Ballo up to the plate. Brings in speed at second base as well. Foot on the gas with 2 outs. Johnny Junk still locked in. Stats are where they started. Accuracy's down because of Mind Gamer. 2-0 count. 3-0 count. Doesn't want to give Lombalo a pitch to hit, but he does, and it's not going to find its way onto the ground. Another well-struck ball, but the outfield's able to get to it. And after putting up 1 run now, he shut out Heisman for 2 innings. Eduardo looking to keep this going.
I think Ed has definitely found something on Heisman's pitching. I do not think that's where he's setting up for every game. I truly believe that he is noticing that Heisman is throwing at the top of the zone a lot against him, and he's not swinging at anything that's close that isn't at the top of the zone. I'm definitely interested to see if Heisman can adapt to that, if he starts recognizing that. Even though he's doing great so far, his pitching numbers look great.
Yeah, and with the familiarity of playing each other so much, I wonder if Eduardo already was aware of the pitching style of Heisman. Is that going to be another one? No, we finally get an RNG drop, but an excellent timing on that dive. RNG had to kick in eventually. That would have been like 6 straight successful dives right there. We do see Split Seamerson, the SPRP, coming for Eduardo here on the mound after that pinch hit last inning. Changeup misses way low, hits the plate, 1-1. Good curveball on the outside. Curveball's been hit well from the Stars so far this game. That up-top curveball has been the pitch he likes to see. And here's Nancy Fox locked in with a triple and a single. A lot of speed, decent batting stats. And she's able to get one over there in the gap. I don't think it's going to score a run. Lombalo's got a good enough arm. Bases are loaded with 1 out here. And if you're Eduardo, this is bigger for you than it is for the Stars. You got to find a way to get out of this.
Yeah, this has a chance of getting completely out of control for the Sirloins, and as good as they are at the mount at bat, I don't think even they can come back from that deficit.
And look at that velo switch up. The well-known Sabrina Perez comes in, the shutdown reliever, elite cutter. Whiffer is on Magic Man. He got a hit with it last time. Swings it way low. Forkball coming in.
Forward.
Cutter away, gets him chasing, a slide, and then a bad throw. 99 on a bad throw, and it gets it at first anyways. That could have been, if that was over the first baseman's head, man, oh man, that would have scored 2 or 3 runs and been a real problem. Eduardo gets away with a mistake right there. I think he must have slid trying to get that caught before it hit the ground.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if he didn't make that play, he could have got the guy at third to put a little bit less pressure on himself.
Right.
But doesn't matter here.
He only gives up 1 run with the bases loaded right there, so a decent job getting out of that. Sliding play must have thrown him off is why we saw that bad throw. Johnny Junk still locked in, only giving up 1 run, really correcting that ERA that's been a problem this season. Got to get through the heart of this lineup one more time, I would imagine, before we see the relief pitcher come in. Good curveball low. 0-2 to Cat Stanza. And then gets him chasing. That's definitely something that can be a weakness I noticed with Eduardo, is those inside cutters sometimes get him off guard.
For sure.
As is for like 90% of the players, though.
I was just going to say, it's not like that's like some kind of anomaly either. Like we all struggle. I mean, a lot of us struggle with the cutter, and especially with the contact hitter who's looking at that strike zone and like staring at that strike zone. That little bit of movement, that 5 extra junk you put on your reliever or your starter, like that's the difference between getting Eduardo to swing and not to swing, really.
And that one's a forkball, but hit really, really well. It's going to find a gap over there and be a double with 1 out. If he takes it, it's going to be close. Yeah, he gets there. So 1 out, man on second. Eduardo did score his run last inning. He had 2 outs, nobody on, and ended up scoring 1. So with 1 out right here and someone on second, he's looking to do something. Is it going to find its way through? It doesn't. Man on third now with 2 outs. And if you're the Sirloins, this is a spot where if you can chip 1 run across here, that can be huge. Game's getting later here in the top of the 6th inning. Johnny Junk all the way back officially to where he started. Lombalo and scoops. Made it a little interesting there, but she snagged it over her head. Clean inning from Heisman. Now back up to the plate. Sabrina Perez on the mound. It's going to make it really tough for these Houston Stars to score runs the rest of the way. You have 6 runs. You have a decent cushion. Low fielding, but, or actually great fielding, and that's why she's able to snag it. We're not seeing a ton of velo getting used with Perez coming in here. I would expect more velo with this pitcher. Wiggins, a great dive and a good throw, and it's going to be able to get there. 2 outs now. Heisman showing his respect with the well-played chat. I would be giving him the lucky chat, try to get in their head. We don't see enough mind games from these very savvy vets. That's one thing that I can teach them. Talk you a little shit in that game, man. Get in their head.
Oh man, you just can't talk shit to the wrong person. That's the problem, you know. Some people take that and will just wake up and fucking punish you for it. So I just I kill them with kindness, you know. It's like, hey, great play, awesome, fantastic. Deep inside, I'm like, break a leg, you know. But you don't have to know that. You can feel bad for your lucky play, your lucky dive. Ooh. That's my mind game.
Yeah, everyone's different. Everyone knows I'm not the nice guy. I'm definitely gonna talk all my smack until the game's over and you sweep me, then I'll give you a tip of the cap. I'm still going to complain and say you're lucky, but I'll tip the cap. And there's a clean inning from Eduardo. Keeps it at a 5-run differential here. Top of the 7th into the last 3 innings here in our AAA match of the week, Game 1. Coming at you on a Monday night before the Cowboys get boat raced. Damian Rush up to the plate, number 7 batter. Eduardo still swinging early. That slider's well located. Interesting location, but it gets him for a couple of quick outs now, and the Stars are looking very much back in control of this game. Johnny Junk back to locked in at 65 pitches through 7 innings. That's shown a little bit of the aggressive pitching paired with the aggressive batting in this game so far. That one's a weak pitch, though, not located very well. Forkball can be dangerous, but you can't get away with a mislocation a little bit more against a contact swinger. Sabrina Perez, and he's going to look to bring in some firepower here in the 7th inning. We're going to see the second pinch hitter.
And you know, the way you described Ed's hitting is perfect. I mean, he's a snowballing type of player, and I think a lot of credit to Heisman with the way he's been playing defense. A lot of the dives, a lot of the plays he's been making has really been putting a stop to any kind of momentum Ed can be getting in this game.
Defense has been, I would say, the main factor, the main differentiating factor so far in this game. A couple of misplays in the field from Eduardo has led to probably 3 runs that shouldn't have necessarily been on the board, and then pair that with the way Heisman hasn't really made any mistakes in the field, and he got that throw out at 3rd earlier. It's really been the difference in this game. It's 5 runs, but you get 3 misplays in a game, and that can very easily be 5 runs.
Absolutely.
Linus Digby came in, by the way, for Sabrina Perez, the other excellent reliever on this staff. Elite forkball in the Arsenal metalhead, so it's not going to matter if you dome this guy. Weak grounder over the 3rd. Platoon puts it away to Stanza for the 2nd out. Still locked in, a triple and 2 singles. It's always nice to have someone locked in. Makes you feel like you're actually doing something. Cutter's going to find the zone. 2-seam, actually. He watches it. Forkball's going to find the zone, and he just looks at it for the 3rd out. We've seen a few of those looking strikeouts from both of these guys so far. Normally aggressive batters, but they've been doing an excellent job on both sides of the mound, going out to in, working that zone on the edges. And if you're Eduardo here, you've only got 6 more outs to play with. You need 5 runs. The momentum type of player he is, it's not impossible to get 5 runs, but he's much more of a 2 or 3 run an inning type of guy. You would think This is a big inning, oh my gosh. Especially with the batters he has up. He's got 1, 2, 3 to start this inning. This might be his best opportunity to get back in this. And that one's going to help. Kat Standa's been doing her job. A couple of base hits from her. She finds herself over there at first base with 1 out. Lloyd Cook up now with a double. Power versus righties is engaged. 1 home run on the season. Looking to add 1 right here would be huge. Johnny Junk might finally come out of this game. Has been an excellent starter. Worked his ERA down 2 whole points in this game from 8 to 6. And now we see Steve Stryker. Big velo. And that's going to lead to a ground ball 3rd. Over to 2nd, on to 1st. Plenty of time. Double play. And the Stars just doing an excellent job on the mound. keeping Eduardo, who averages 7 runs, down to 1 right now. And then for Houston, they've scored about what their average is. So it's been a very impressive game in that one. That one pains the soul. Eduardo's getting kicked while he's down. Leadoff single over there between first base and second. Forkball well located. Pitch out now, and whoa, the veteran play. Perfectly timed pitch out.
Absolutely caught him red-handed.
And it's big now because there's a hit right there that could have got a couple on with no outs. Now we've got 1 out, 1 on. Gina scoops back up. Front of this lineup, leadoff hitter. Was that the pitcher that got that hit before, or did he pinch it? Well, hang on, he doesn't know how many outs. Okay,
Wow.
okay. We'll see if it pays off. If Eduardo can score 5 runs right here, and he's got Willard Wiggins locked in and clutch. 397 average, last gasp of air here for the Sirloins. In these AAA and XBL games, the 9th inning can get very dicey no matter what the run differential is. It seems like people like to manufacture some hits and put some pressure on you here in this last inning. Oh, that heat up top with that. It looks like he's got a submarine arm angle on that closer.
He does.
Disgusting, yeah. 101. Sub arm angle is really tough because you see it so uncommonly. This is what you make a closer like this for. Come in and shut this thing down. Don't give any hope, especially before a game 2. You know another one's coming right after on Match of the Week.
For sure. And I'd be very surprised to see Ed put up similar hitting numbers. I mean, you know, everything kind of adjusts back to the mean, averages back out to the mean. A couple of those balls drop, a couple bongs here and there, you know, like this game looks a little bit different, probably looks a lot tighter. And I don't think Ed is going to make the same mistakes he made in game 1 in terms of his fielding. He's too much of a vet for that.
Right, and there we see the end of game 1 with the Houston Stars winning 6-1 after a hot start. It slowed down a lot after that second inning. Eduardo, a few mistakes that, like you said, I'm sure he's going to correct. A really good performance from the Stars right there, and like we talked about, was only 8-6, looking to right the ship, and what a way to do it. Just shut off that 11-win streak that Eduardo had coming into that ball game right there.
Yeah, the game giveth and the game taketh away, I guess, you know, so you always got to be ready. Heisman looked locked in, he looked ready, he looked fresh. The break definitely helped him out there, and I expect you know, a little sense, so to speak, to be knocked into Ed here. I don't see him kind of going out like that the way he went in game 1.
Yeah, me either. And to use missed words, Ed is very ornery of a player, so not someone that wants to be swept on Match of the Week, especially not against a fellow vet in the league. But a great game 1 for our AAA Match of the Week. We got these things pre-recorded, so we can start them up as soon as we want to. Going to take a quick break in between, little potty break and coffee break, and then we're going to come right back at you with game 2 AAA Match of the Week and see if Eduardo can go ahead and get this split, or if Heisman really corrects this season and gets a sweep on one of the top players. We'll catch y'all here in a minute. right, I believe we are back. Let me know if it's not back. But here, we're home at Peril Point, home of the Sirloins. After the home team won at the Corral and the Houston Stars, Ed looks to correct what just happened right there, some of the mistakes he had, and I'm sure he will. That game showed us a little bit of everything except for the long ball. We saw a lot of diving plays. We saw some speed. We saw really excellent pitching, especially in the back half of that game. Is it still black? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all give me a second, guys. I'm going to pause the game real quick so that y'all don't miss anything. Eduardo clipped it like 4 seconds before the freaking first pitch got thrown. Oh, hey guys, that's me. All right, let's try it again. Still at Peril Point, nothing changed, just a black screen. Let me know if it doesn't show now. We see a first pitch strike on the outside. And it's going to be, God, he's pitching so fast. Who's the starter? Let me see. Bugsy Snuggs, a very well-known player for the Sirloins. Looking to pitch a lot better than that starter did in the last game. I think that was his number 4 pitcher in that last game. And now we're seeing the ace, and that shows what Match of the Week is all about. A lot of people will save that ace for this performance. I know I will. I'm playing Snowbird late in the season, and by God, you better expect number 1 and number 2. Couple of quick outs there. Houston Stars started off hot in that first inning last time. Already down to 2 outs here. That one's hit well left field. Tish Mullen looks like she's going to be able to range back there and get it, and she does. No RNG, so clean first inning from the Sirloins this time, and now at his home stadium, looking in the bottom half here to do some damage. David Deuce is only a 1.5 ERA, but look at those stats. Not very good, but he does have the changeup on this pitcher. Very different arsenal. Oh, wow. Bad swing up top. With the low stats on David Deuce's, though, it's big shout out to Heisman having the ERA that low. Only at 1.5. So we're seeing the number 1 from the Sirloins versus the number 4 pitcher for the Stars, I believe. So that's going to be something that could be worth noting as this game goes on.
Yeah, and I am just a huge believer that like velo and actually differences in velo is so important against Ed. And again, when you have someone, you know, the first pitcher Heisman threw didn't have a changeup. This pitcher has a bit lower velo, and I feel like as a contact hitter, that actually is advantageous to Ed for this game.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the contact swing with lower velo can definitely help you, because a lot of people will switch to contact swing against really low velo because of the advantages. And for someone that's already comfortable with contact swinging, now you get to see low velo. It's just green lights in your head. But this one's going to be lined to shortstop. Couple of outs now. Willard Wiggins up to the plate. Had a great game there in game 1. His team wasn't able to back him up. Stanza and Willard Wiggins really performed well in game 1, looking to carry it into game 2. I wonder how many curveballs we're going to see out of the Stars with this low velo. Goes for a pickoff, nothing brewing. 2-0 count though. Still sitting at the top of the zone, same as he did last game. And that one is top of the zone. He's able to get a quick bat to it. 2 on, 2 outs. This is where it's tough, I think, for contact swingers. When you need a 2 outs and you have some people on, a lot of times you're hoping for a long ball, especially with a batter like this. But when you're a contact swinger, that's not necessarily in your arsenal. So you've got to try to get a 2-out rally that comes with 4 or 5 hits. I think that's something that can be really difficult, and why you really need to get early base runners on whenever you're a contact swinger.
Absolutely, and I mean, I think you're speaking to, you know, the main reason why most purely contact hitters. Wow, that's trash.
Yeah, talk about contact, but hang on over there in center field, but he doesn't get it. He's going to round all the way around third. 2 RBI double, and he didn't get a home run, but you find a gap like that, that works just as well. 2 runs come across, and we saw the Stars start off quick at home in the last one. Here comes Eduardo at home in this one with 2 runs in the first. This one's going to be a pop out over there in center field. That's A tough break over there from Houston to miss that dive. Would have been huge out there in center field. It was a tough dive, but...
Well, that's the difference there, right? In game one, that center fielder makes that catch.
Oh, my.
Oh wow, a second one right in
It's
center
one of
field.
those
See,
games.
we're watching them now. We saw a bunch of great, and again, it's the law of averages, right? Like if you're going to see a ton of great defensive plays in one game, it's going to average out, and we're already seeing that.
Oh, my
like, couple
Lord.
innings in.
Yeah, the RNG looks like it's going to be against both players right here. That's already the third drop we've seen. We do have crossed up on Bugsy Snugs here, so I guess you expect to see a couple of these drops. We'll see if he goes to third. He does. Back to second, and the Diddle's able to get him safe, and that's... If I'm Eduardo after the way game one went, I'm just going to first there. I'm just going to first. I'm tired of playing these base running games. It seems like he's losing on all of them. But nonetheless, we've got 2 on now, no outs. And the Stars look very primed to tie this game up here. A very excellent steal timed there. And now, man on second and third, no outs. And he's going to intentionally walk him. Going with that same recipe that he used last game. Going to try to get the force out at home, I would imagine here, if not the double play. Nancy Fox, not a strong batter up. A lot of speed, though. Can beat out a double play ball. Forkball hard in the zone. He takes care of it. Rounds the bases. How much speed does he have? Is it enough? And he turns back. Bases are loaded still. 1 run comes across. No run still put on the board. And Bugsy Snug struggling as the ace here. Houston Stars look very dangerous at the plate in this set so far. That one not going to find its way onto the ground. And now... if you're Eduardo, a double play ball would do wonders here, and this is who you want up. Pitcher comes up for the Stars. I mean, I'm debating a bunt here even. Tie this game up.
I'll tell you, it's just bunting is one of those things. It's kind of, I guess, like real baseball. You don't have a lot of players in the AAA. I don't know how it is in the other leagues as well as they do in the AAA. They're just not comfortable bunting. And bunting's something, you know, it's taken me 3 or 4 seasons personally to start using it because I realize how good it is, right? And like, you know, contextual situations. So Heisman's just not a bunter, you know, and someone who doesn't bunt is not going to bunt.
And respect to him for that. Bunts are lame. 3-0 count now, bases loaded. Hold up. Gina Scoops gets a curveball. Ooh, swinging 3-0. Did get a good pitch to hit, but that's painful when you have the bases loaded in a 3-0 count and you swing into an out. Man, what could have been, but we sit here at 1-2 going into the second. Stars were able to get a run across, so we see both teams scoring runs here, and as someone who has the bet on the overruns, I'm very happy to see it. Keep this thing going. Drop all these center field balls if you want. Quick out there in center field, though. David Deuce has already doubled his ERA here, up to 2.77 after giving up 2 in the first. Tish Ballin pops that one up to right field now. It's going to be a couple of quick outs here. And here comes Bugsy Snug. 750 average for this pitcher. What's going on here? Let's see what he's all about. This is the AAA Shohei, I've heard. Swings into the third baseman there, though. Going to be 3 outs, relatively few pitches there for the Stars, and that's what you need after a rough first inning. Cleaned it up there in the second, comes back up to the plate. Bugsy Snugs, this is, if you're Eduardo and your ace has already given up bases loaded and a little bit of a break in that first inning, that's not a good sign when your ace is starting to get beat up on early in the game. And Cat Stanza with another dive or jumping catch over there, and I mean, I brought it up last game. Eduardo had that bench specialist over there playing first last time. Has some fielding this time, and it's paid off with a couple of outs in this series. Kawashi not happy about the bunt slander. I'll slander it until the day I die. You're not going to catch me bunting. Mostly because I don't know how. Fastball up and away, and he's able to take care of it. That's really a great location up and away on that fastball, but good job putting it up through the infield right there. And Billy Bombs comes up. Really strong batter here, number 4 hole. And he hits it well left field. Not going to be enough. Holds the runner at first. 2 outs now. Still have yet to see a home run in this series. Both teams have some power. Obviously, Eduardo's a contact swinger, but Heisman's been using power swinging more Wouldn't be surprised if we see a long ball out of him this game. And that one's deep left field. Man, I wish. Make me right once, but it's not going to happen. 3 outs now. Going into the bottom of the third. 3 hits from both teams and 1-2. Yeah, good point, Fireball. It is a lot harder to bunt with the lower contact. Some people have really been excellent at it.
Really forced me to start bunting was, again, if you're not bunting, it's because you're really good at the fundamentals of the game or you're just blessed as a hitter. But when, think of it as in a situation where a lot of the time you might have like a couple men on with less than 2 outs and then your pitcher comes up. And I was finding that a lot of the time I'm hitting double play balls like most of the time. So bunting in those situations, even with 2 strikes, sometimes I will bunt with the pitcher because I would rather just bunt out than hit into a double play, And that's like part pitchers, of the curse of being a bad hitter.
It does seem like pitchers are double play magnets for whatever reason. Kat Stanza was juiced in that last at-bat, and she hit it decently well, but over there to left field for the second out. And now Lloyd Cook is up. Hits that one well, left field, short wall. Is he going to be able to make a play? It doesn't find its way over. We've seen a lot of left field outs so far in this game on some pretty well-struck balls.
It's a game of inches, man. A couple of these balls, you're just slightly under, but these would be gone on any other day.
And the Stars now have gotten a couple of bloopers over there to right field to start off their innings. I think he's got one in each inning so far. Here in the top of the 4th, looking to take the lead or tie it up. They look plenty comfortable at the plate. Still done an excellent job getting bats on balls. Also done an excellent job of working the counts. Already at 42 pitches now for the starter. Ooh, that's a double play, Scary. Wiggins had to dive, though, and that might change things. It does with that speed. Not going to be able to turn 2 because of the dive. That's one of those that's kind of iffy. I think he might have been able to scoop it at his feet, but took the safe route. Dove for it.
I can't blame him for diving. I mean, there's so many balls that I could just swear my 99 fielding shortstop can get to, and it'll roll right by his glove. So, if I think it's going to be close, I'd be safe. So I can't fault Ed for making that play.
Oh, and this is the second time this series Eduardo perfectly times the steal, able to get the out. Now he comes back up, still holds the lead. Got beaten that game 6-1. Trying not to lose again here at home. Did lose that 11 win streak. But the only way to start a win streak again is win a game. So he's looking to start it back up here. Boomer, platoon, power lefties. Contact lefties. Perfect matchup for him. David Deuces is locked in on the mound, by the way. 30 pitches in 4 innings. Eduardo's still swinging as aggressive as ever. Checked up top. Still holding that reticle up top.
Just parked up there.
Taking a little break. Check it out. Ooh, that one was close. 2-2 count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. That one's gonna drop, I think, right? Ooh, I'm surprised he didn't even take the chance to dive for it, but drops out there. And I'll tell you what I've just now noticed that I'm extremely happy about, and I've only noticed it because I haven't been able to complain about it. Heisman's actually pitching with some decent pace. Heisman's known as a slower pitcher to kind of work cadence and things like that. He's actually been pitching relatively quickly, and I'm thankful for that, or else we would be here until about 10 o'clock the way he pitched to me last year. Working pretty well, only giving up 2 runs this game to Eduardo, and obviously held him to 1 in the last one. Second baseman not able to jump and get it with that high fielding, doesn't matter. Now we got a couple on, 2 outs. Eduardo looking to get a little bit of a 2-out rally here. He's taunting with a bunt. I don't think we're actually going to see it. And he swings, and it's well struck left field. Almost gets past Magic Man, but doesn't. He fires it into home. It's going to be a play. No, it's not. And we do see another 2-out run. Eduardo doing a great job getting runs with 2 outs here. And Bugsy Snuggs has done a decent job on the mound, only giving up 1 run. He's debating. This is an interesting situation here. You're going to be into the 5th. He does have a really strong bullpen. You can get away with this, and he does. Mixed steal comes in. Was able to get a hit when he pinch hit last game. A huge hit would be needed right here to score a couple runs. It finds a gap. Not a ton of speed rounding. Is he going to go for it? Base jogger. And he gets there. I thought that was going to be a lot closer with that base jogger coming around. And now he's got Hammer Lombalo up. Where is the huge hit going to come? It's got to happen. That one's down right field. Able to grab it over there, Strokes, and put it away. Lombalo really struggling so far in this series. We haven't seen that big blow it wide open hit from either of these guys. We got a 3-run difference now,
Ed's got some clutch insurance runs there. He definitely looks more comfortable in this game at the plate.
Yeah, he does look a lot more comfortable. Swinging aggressively, but putting balls into good locations in the field. Heisman pinch hits here for that starter after a rough inning, and the pinch hit pays off as he gets a leadoff single. Heisman's had runners on, I think, in every single inning so far. Eduardo's done a good job of keeping the runners where they are. We'll see if Linus Digby can continue the starter's job. Pretty similar to the starter's stats in terms of velocity, junk, and accuracy. Elite forkball. And uses it there.
Ooh. Late
swing on it over there. Foul. 1-2 count. 2-2, a throwaway pitch. This pitch, if it can find the zone, this has been a problem. He does swing at it there. Sprinter might save him. No, it doesn't. The double play. What an excellent job from Eduardo right there. Fires it to second, straight back to first, in time to get the sprinter out.
That's a huge arm for a first baseman.
He went from not caring about his first baseman at all to actually making a pretty strong first baseman. Here comes a specialist pitcher. Didn't see this reliever in the last game. 5-pitch arsenal. Specialist can be really annoying. Kat Stanza once again had an excellent series so far, and now she's got a double after a single earlier. Probably locked in, I would imagine. Yep, mojo up. And a leadoff double. The Sirloin's looking to add to this lead the same way Heisman did in those middle to late innings. He added 1 or 2. Sirloin's looking to do the same thing. Hit well, but the specialist took a little bit of power off of that. He's going to push for it. Kat Stanza and turns back. Hang on. Okay, he's safe. Back at second. RBI hero on. It's actually negating the specialist and some. Still a little bit up from the normal stats. Willard Wiggins at the plate. That one might find its way over. It doesn't.
Wow.
Tough break. That one looked like it might have squeaked over the head and led to a run. Here comes Boomer Platoon. Both traits engaged. A really strong batter to have up in this situation. We'll see if we can see a firework here. Haven't seen a home run yet.
I'd be surprised if Heisman threw anything hittable here.
The way they've been pitching aggressively, I'd be surprised to see a walk almost. And he does give him a tough fastball right there. Maybe, maybe not would have been a strike, but Eduardo's an aggressive swinger and swings out of it right there. Heisman back up. Only manufactured 1 run so far in this game after putting up 6 in game 1. This has been a little bit opposite of a scorecard in this one. Stars have gotten some base runners on, though, just haven't put them across. Swings at a cutter outside right there for the first out. Mojo is up on the reliever now. Locked in Linus Digby, not the 3 words, 4 words you want to hear.
Mm-hmm. And it's a war of attrition with Ed sometimes, you know. He's got 1 or 2 really good relievers, and if you can knock out the starter early and get to the relievers, you just kind of wait him out, make him throw pitches, because he doesn't, you know, he does throw a fair amount of balls.
Oh, and he swings at that one that tailed from out to in. It was a little bit out still, but don't blame him for not being able to lay off of it. Now a couple of quick outs. Manny misplay up. Power versus righties is on. That's a weak curveball. Hold up. Oh, and it's snagged over there on a frozen rope.
Of course it is.
Yeah. We saw a lot of drops to start the game, but these fielders are snagging these fireballs right now. Hit well, center field, but once again, contact swing. So it doesn't matter. Ace Exterminator on. You love to see it. Paula Pickles, not huge stats, but because of that specialist, I guess it gets her into A- territory. Still able to get the ground out on the screwball there. 2 outs in the first 2 or 3 pitches, and now Tish balling up to the plate. Eduardo looks like he's getting a little bit loose at the plate, comfortable at the 3 runs maybe. You got to be worried, though. The Stars have still done a pretty good job of getting base runners on. Dylan Dirtbag, I wonder who he's calling out with that name. Heisman has a Dylan that he hates in his life. 1-1 count. Digby looking strong as ever on the mound. Nice forkball outside for the 21st pitch. Still has plenty of stamina. Gets the ground out there to Lloyd Cook. And these pitchers, this looks a lot like last game. They scored early, but as the game got late, these guys started really locking in the pitching.
This is definitely not a place you want to be as Heisman, with Linus locked in at the mound. Ed's dealing. He feels comfortable at the plate. Again, it's just like one of those kind of slow tortures.
Ooh, good eye from Heisman there. He's going to give him the same pitch again. Not able to lay off of it this time, and 3 up, 3 down for the Sirloins. And neither guy can seem to manufacture anything right now. They can't produce any base runners. We haven't seen any long balls. Really haven't seen any good contact now in a few innings. Pitcher was up right there, lines it to first base. Hammerlon Ballo has to worry about the specialist negating the stats a little bit, but still plenty strong at the plate and has that fastball hitter. Checks on a fastball up top. Doesn't check on that one, hits it well, but once again, I mean, all the decent hits we've seen in the last 3 or 4 innings have just been line outs to the infield. Not a whole lot of elevation on these hits right now. We saw a lot of deep fly outs to start the game, but now we're just seeing a lot of line outs. And back to back, both guys, top of the inning and bottom of the inning, get away in like 10 pitches or less, I think. Pitcher stays in and helps herself down the left field line. Tish Ballin does a great job of keeping it at a single. That could have been a double or a triple because of the locked-in speed on that pitcher.
Absolutely, a huge cutoff right there.
And if you're Heisman here, you're in the 8th inning, you're down to 6 outs. You're about to have the front of your order up. Oh, and that's huge. He's got 2 on, no outs, and the Stars coming to life a little bit, giving us a little bit of excitement. Now we've got something to talk about. Number 2 hole up, Eduardo Manuel. Linus Digby just juiced on the mound still despite those 2 hits. This is real power on power right here. You've got one of your top pitchers, one of your top batters, and a huge spot with the pressure bars at 4. Ooh, tough strike on the outside. 1-2, looking to give him a chase pitch here. Very well located, snags it, and that honestly probably helped the Stars. That would have been a double play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Clutch is on for Kelly Strokes. Finally, the stats are going down a little bit for Digby. This is the spot where if you're the Stars, we haven't seen a big home run yet. Imagine if he can hit one right here, how it flips this game on top of its head. Oh no, hits it right at Lloyd Cook into a double play ball, and man, the momentum was there for the taking, and Eduardo and the Sirloins instantly squash it.
That was the shot right there with the 2 men on base right away with no outs. I mean, you got a little bit of an opening, but Ed just so comfortable with Linus. Locked in Linus just looks so nasty, and even with someone like Heisman who has a great eye, I mean, those cuts, it's hard. And wow, another hard hit ball just straight to a fielder.
Yeah, Eduardo's been stuck at 4 runs for a while, but the way he has pitched on the mound has been incredible in this game too. Pitched pretty well in game 1, but did have a few mistakes that Heisman was able to take advantage of. This game, not really any mistakes to be called out on the mound. And this reliever for the Stars has done an excellent job. She's locked in herself, Paula Pickles. Really been deadlocked at 1-4 now for the whole back half of this game. And here comes Heisman. Top of the 9th here in game 2 of our AAA match of the week after Eduardo was beat on the road at the Corral in game 1. Looking to correct it. Has a 3-run lead here in the 9th. Heisman, one last gasp for air here. 3 outs to play with, only needs 3 runs. Definitely doable. The middle of his order up right now. Billy bombs at the plate. Forkball's going to find its way into the zone, and he swings well. Left field, Rush after it, not able to get to it, and it is dropped, and it's going to be a double. And if you're the Stars, there you go. This is how you want to start it off. You've got the leadoff runner on. Get one more on and bring that tying run up to the plate. You can make this very interesting.
Absolutely, and that's all you want to do here. I mean, you got Linus stats going down, and oh, there we go. Controversial, middle of the at-bat change. Oh, gonna have lots to talk about.
You know he did that on purpose, bro. You know he did that on purpose, bro. Knowing Heisman, and he asked who was casting, and once he found out I was, I guarantee you the first thing coming in his mind was, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and sub mid-count for no reason. Literally no reason. Eduardo's such a troll. But look, I hope that a home run gets hit right here. Come on, Heisman. Give us something, baby. Tying run at the plate. 1-1 count. Sabrina Perez trying to keep her team alive. 2-1 count. Dylan Dirtbag. Weak curveball, and he swings and misses. I bet the steal threw him off a little bit. It's tough to hit and run. Ooh, right outside. Full count. Action pitch coming. Steals, and it's big. It scores a run. Hissing around second, over to third. This is an aggressive base running play. He's able to get there, and we've got runners at the corners, folks. No outs yet. Nancy Fox is up. This is getting interesting. AAA trying to give us some fun. Oh, and once again, curveball on the steal. He probably would have been safe. 0-2. Tense on the mound now. And you love to see it after that mid-at-bat sub. Tense instantly.
Absolutely. What a ridiculous moment in the game right now.
Oh my, and he steals. The steals have messed him up a little bit, but he does have this thing tied. 1 out, runner on second. Tense is Magic Man, but he can't think about that right now. He needs to come through for his team. One good gapper, and this thing's going to be tied.
What a pitch.
Base jogger at second, though. 2-1, Sabrina Perez scratching and clawing, trying to get one more out, 2 more outs here. Oh my gosh, that's one of those where you think the jump is going to lead to a hit through his body. He gets away with that. Completely got away with that, in my opinion. Here comes Benny Balmer. Everything on the line in Game 2, AAA match of the week. It's a 1-run ball game, tying run at second base. Can he do it? The Houston Stars trying to sweep one of AAA's top players. 3-0 count now. Not a strong pinch hitter. Take the walk here if you can. 3-1 though. And he walks him. And here comes the front of that order for the Houston Stars. Gina Scoops, who was locked in last game, only 1 for 4 this game, but a 421 average. She's got good odds. Man on first and second. Give us something, Heisman. Come on, baby. And it's through the center. As he get around, base jogger is on. He throws it to third, and he's safe at home. And we get a tie game at the top of the 9th here in AAA Match of the Week. Hell yeah, Heisman.
Unbelievable clutch hitting with 2 outs. I mean, this is like...
He just made me a rich man, too. He just made me a rich man as well. Sorry, Spliff.
Unbelievable. No, hey man, you know these numbers are good. Look, you know, I'll take these. I'll take these flowers. I like to make you guys sweat in the 9th inning. You know, so this is what it's about. Good bet. Good bet, Uni.
This is what we're talking about. Bottom or top of the 9th. And we see a 3-run rally from the Houston Stars, and here comes that stub reliever. Can he lock it down now on the mound? Can he complete the comeback? That's closer caused a lot of fits for the Sirloins in the last one. That submarine release. 1 home run ball here, though, wins the game. I know we haven't seen one yet, but now as good a time as ever. Low and away, we're seeing some safe pitches now. The Stars are very aware of the situation. Fastball, is he going to be able to get to it? He catches it at third base at the top of his reach. Ace Exterminator on again, but Tense is hurting his contact and his speed still. Power is up for Damian Rush. Game-winning run at the plate every at-bat right now. Stryker trying to do his job as the closer. Second baseman dives, and a couple of tough outs here. Jumping and then diving for the Stars, and the Stars really have things going their way here in the 9th inning. Forkball finds its way into the zone. 0-2 for Tish Ballin at the plate. Heat low and away. Is it going to find a gap? Are we going to see a third dive? He doesn't have to. He snags it.
Wow.
Widescreen made me think that was going to drop. All
Free
right.
baseball Monday night. What can we say, you know?
Yeah, here we go. It got a little bit boring in those middle innings, admittedly, but man, it's gotten interesting now. And Heisman adds to it. He's got a gapper to lead off the inning. This one might turn into a triple over there in the Peril Point walls. He rounds third. He's coming around. It's a play, but he's safe. A leadoff triple for the Stars, and they've taken this game by the throat. Everything has changed in the matter of 1/2 inning, and now he's taken the, very likely going to take the lead here in the top of the 10th. You know what it all comes back to, Spliff. You know what it all comes back to. Mid-at-bat sub karma, and I love it. Absolutely love it.
Wow, huge out there though. I mean, hey, you know, careful now. You don't want to add weight to the other side of that karmic formula. So, but yes. I mean, he paid for it, right? I mean, we saw it happen. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not, you know, I don't have an opinion on the rule part of it, but hey, I mean, Heisman was ready for it.
He was, and now Sabrina Perez. Eduardo elects to walk 2 batters, loads the bases. Now keeps Sabrina Perez in, trying to get a force out at any base. Has the infield at double play depth, though. I think he's thinking double play ball here. 2-1 count. Big spot for Nancy Fox.
What a pitch.
Swings, and that's the pitch he needed. Nancy Fox has speed. He's able to get it. The Sirloins give up a leadoff triple and are able to get out of it. What an excellent job from Eduardo to keep this thing tied. And now everything is back on his side. He's going to be able to pinch hit here. Sabrina Perez.
Only a handful of people in the AAA that can make that pitch right there, that curveball in the top corner of the zone like a dot, on a player who's been hitting the curveball well and mishit that ball, right? And just like hit it right into the ground. And that was just a vet making a vet pitch. There's really not many people who can make that pitch in that situation.
Yep, exactly. Perfect analysis of that situation. And man, oh man, did he need it. And he's going to have the best batters up after Filet Jones here. That's the first out, but we're going to see Hammerlong Ballo come up to lead off here. Then Cat Stanza, who's had an excellent series, coming up right after. These are the batters where long ball from Long Ballo is very much in the picture right now, in the realm of possibility.
Absolutely.
And I would love to see it here on AAA Match of the Week. Game 2 after Heisman won Game 1. And then Stormbeck in Game 2. Eduardo was able to save himself in the top of the 10th and finds himself with a chance to win it here. Swings at the fastball up top. Second out, but this has been the girl who's done excellent. And look at those stats. Are you going to give her a pitch to hit here? No way, right?
Heisman ain't the type, you know, like he just isn't. It's some of us, it's coded. I know the right play here is to walk this player, but just Heisman that's not coded in his DNA like that.
Yeah, he's been very aggressive pitching at these big hitters, and Cat Stanza once again. Hell of a series from Cat Stanza.
Time to code it, maybe Heisman. It's time to code it.
Oh man, Spliff called it out. Heisman doesn't walk, and Eduardo takes advantage of it. Walk-off home run for the Sirloins in AAA Match of the Week. Couldn't get any better. What a game, Spliff. What a game.
Unbelievable. Listen, I've been on Heisman's side of that type of game against Ed, where it's very close. I think last season, both of our games were like that, where I took a lead late in the game, and it just, the guy's like, there's no quit in him, you know? Like, there's absolutely no quit. He gets the clutch hit when he needs it. He got it was meant to be in that moment. We saw those stats, and, you know, again, the same thing would have happened to me. I would have pitched him. I probably would have been taking yard, and Ed did what was required to win that game in the end. The savvy vet.
Yeah, savvy vet, and man, the way that game ended, we see the Stars storm back in the ninth, and imagine the way that affects Eduardo's mental. He gives up the lead after a substitution, gives up the lead there in the ninth. Then he's got the bases loaded in the 10th. Everything seems like the Stars have every opportunity to win this game. And Eduardo gets out of it there in the top of the 10th and then is able to answer in the bottom of the 10th. And like you said, what a veteran display from Eduardo right there. Heisman's played a lot of series, a lot of seasons. Eduardo's played a few more, and he shows it right there. The long ball over there right field at Peril Point Home Stadium. What an excellent display from both of these guys. We see both players play an excellent two-game set, and what a way to top it off. After we let it marinate a little bit, yes, it was because of audio issues, but man, we let that thing marinate for an extra day, and now on a Monday you get a treat. What an excellent series, man.
I think it was worth the wait. It was definitely worth the wait. I mean, I didn't know what to expect coming into these games. And, you know, we saw, again, like, shout out to both players. They both, it was a tale of two games. And Ed, again, like, we saw both versions of the Ed that we referred to pre-game, right? I mean, in the first game, we saw a guy who was, like, kind of making questionable plays in the field and you know, missing some easy plays out in the outfield, making questionable decisions, throwing home. But in game 2, we saw the Ed that was on an 11-game streak coming into this series. I mean, he was locked in. He wasn't going to take no for an answer. I mean, just the way he took care of that inning with the bases loaded and one out. I mean, that's just a testament to the guy being locked in. He knew exactly what his strategy was. He leaned into it, and it worked out perfectly for him.
Yeah, and what Miss would have said is what I brought up before. Ed is ornery, and he showed that right there. He scratched and clawed and fought. He was getting shut down in those middle innings after a quick start and had everything go against him there late. Then I just want to call out J3 in the chat, the new guy. Excellent point. Costanza had bad ball hitter, and that pitch looked maybe slightly inside on that home run ball. And bad ball hitter pays off on top of all those stats that Costanza had. It sucks to give up a home run, but especially to a ball on a bad ball hitter. I have to go back and look, but I think it was right off of the plate. But he might have been trying to walk her. He really might have been trying to walk her, but that bad ball hitter changed everything. And so we see the split. I mean, excellent job from league office this season. We've seen so many splits. I feel like I don't know if I can think of any series on Match of the Week so far this year that have not been a split. There might be one or two, but it's been like everything has been a split, and that's just a big shout out to league office and the way that they know these players, especially these veterans, and how to line them up and get us some really good matchups. So that was a really fun cast tonight. They gave us as fun of a game as you could hope for there in game 2. So it was really an excellent night of AAA Match of the Week here on a Monday. Spliff, I'll give you your last word before I ramble us out.
No, it was a great series. Kind of what, you know, the house was expecting as well. A hard-fought battle between two wily vets, not a lot of runs, or close to the amount of runs, or lower than the amount of runs that we were expecting overall, but two wily vets really looking to get their season continuing, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing as a AAAer myself, what they're going to be doing for the rest of the season. So I've yet to play Ed, and I wish both of them the best of luck.
Yeah, and for yourself and all of AAA, these are two top dogs in the league. Heisman's record doesn't necessarily show it right now, but he's very much a top 5, top 7 sort of player.
He'll be there when it's all said and done. He'll be in the conversation, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Heisman's gonna find himself up there. Eduardo really starts off hot and kind of stays up there in the top. So if you're in the AAA, these are two people. If you want to be top of the league and try to win that thing, these are two guys you look at and you think, okay, what are these guys doing that I can mimic, that I can replicate to try to win games? And it's those plays like Eduardo made there in game 2 that win you games in the season and win you games in the playoffs. So we had a great XBL matchup last night, great AAA matchup tonight. We haven't posted it yet, but we're set. I'll tell y'all right now for Wednesday, I believe is most likely what we're going to have our first in-season roundup, and that's my favorite broadcast. I think it's most people's favorite broadcast. It's awesome. The roundup's great. We're going to have a lot of great faces in the booth. I'm so excited to bring y'all the Unicorn of the Week. Me and Dwayne's helping me out on this one. We've got something cooked up that's going to be so fun, and I think it's going to make the roundup start off with a bang, and then obviously we're going to give everyone their flowers, good or bad, the way that you've been playing it, and hopefully can maybe give y'all a few tips and ways to improve as you go out through this season. And that's the great thing about having so many casters in there, is you get to hear a lot of different perspectives and the way that they see your game. So thanks for watching tonight, and we will see y'all here in a couple days for your XBL roundup. I hope y'all are all excited. Put it on your calendar. I know I am. So we'll see y'all in a couple days. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.